Hi, today I will be discussing on osmotic fragility test. If you search on Google and YouTube, you will get n number of videos on this osmotic fragility test. Some of them have focused on the principle, some of them have focused on procedure, and some of them have focused on the calculation. Here I have included all these things and made video for you. Coming to the principle of the test, osmotic fragility test measures resistance of RBCs to lysis in hypotonic saline. Normal RBCs can withstand lysis up to certain stage as they have higher surface to volume ratio, but spirochetes have less resistance to lysis as they have lower surface to volume ratio and hence swell early and get ruptured early. This is used as a screening test for hereditary spirocytosis. You can use both EDTA and heparin blood. Heparin blood is preferred according to some studies. The stability of the sample will be there for 72 hours and it is better to do the test within this period of time. A travel control is preferred with the sample. So to make it easier, it is always better to prepare a stock solution. To prepare a stock solution, you will have to dissolve 100 gram of sodium chloride, 13.6 gram of disodium hydrogen phosphate and 2.4 gram of sodium dihydrogen phosphate. Mix all these things in distilled water and make the volume up to 1 liter. This is a buffered saline and can be kept for many months at 4 degrees centigrade. This is osmotically equivalent to 10% of sodium chloride. While doing the test, you will have to prepare a working solution from the stock solution. To make a working solution, you will have to dissolve 1 ml of stock solution with 9 ml of distilled water to get 1% of sodium chloride. This 1% of working solution can be used to make serial dilution of different concentration of sodium chloride for osmotic fragility test. Coming to the main procedure of the osmotic fragility test, you will need 24 test tubes for this test, 12 test tubes for control and 12 test tubes for test. This table mentions the amount of working solution to be added and the distilled water to be added to make certain concentration of the sodium chloride. For example, if you take tube 1, 4 ml of 1% of working solution is added with 0.5 ml of distilled water to make it 0.9% of the sodium chloride. And like this, you can check the table and you can make serial dilutions of sodium concentration of sodium chloride, and 50 microliter of blood is added to each tube for the test. After this, you will have to mix the tube and allow the tube to stand at room temperature for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, the tube is remixed and is centrifuged for 5 minutes at the speed of 2000 rpm. After the centrifugation, you will have to separate the supernatant fluid into a separate tube and mark it 1 to 12 accordingly. To estimate the lysis, you will have to use spectrophotometer and measure the absorbance. Usually for calculating the percentage of hemolysis, tube number 12 of control row is used as a 100% lysis for calculating the lysis of the other tube. For calculating the percentage of hemolysis, the formula is absorbance of tube divided by absorbance of 100% lysis tube into 100. For example, if 100% lysis tube has an absorbance of 0.09 and your test has an absorbance of 0.06, then the percentage of hemolysis is 66.66% according to this formula. So you will have to calculate all the absorbance and percentage of hemolysis for all these tubes. You can see the picture here where I have depicted control and the test with measured concentration of the sodium chloride. So for interpreting the test, there are two. You can interpret the test in two ways. Simple way is to make note of the concentration of salt solution in which the initial, median and the maximal lysis occurs. the normal values of osmotic fragility test for greater than 1 year of age is initial lysis usually occurs at 0.5%, median lysis at 0.4%, and maximal lysis occurs at 0.3%. It is always better to set your own normal values by testing for normal individuals in your own lab. The other way of measuring and the better way of interpreting the test is to plot the percentage of lysis against the concentration on the graph paper. In normal people, the curve is sigmoid. So this picture gives you a representation of control and the test, and the y-axis shows the hemolysis and the x-axis shows the sodium chloride concentration. So by this graphical representation, you can easily detect the hemolysis, start of hemolysis and the end of hemolysis, and interpret the osmotic fragility test easily. So my advice is to is that the gold standard test for screening hereditary spherocytosis is EMI binding test, which is done on flow cytometry, and it is always better to do both osmotic fragility test and EMA binding test together and interpret the test accordingly. Thank you.